What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here. I got another Chinese regionals VOD for you guys today. It's another VOD from Group B, so this is the last group that we watched. We watched YFTX pop off with Yasuo, Reroll, and Sudowoodo or Koro 1 pop off with a Viego 3 twin out the lobby. Before we get too far into the VOD, I do want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is the Mobalytics overlay. If you guys heard me talk about this before, this is a really high quality TFT overlay. So you can see win rates for augments. There we saw comps right before this. Another thing that is really nice is these item recipes. So, if you're new to TFT, you are learning what all the item combinations are, what's good on what units. You can, check that out to get a good sense for that. So I'm going to have a link in the description to download the overlay. I'm also going to have a link in the description to a guide that I'm writing on Mobalytics for the winning comp in this game. It's a comp that is near and dear to my heart. And it was a pretty cool sort of like variation from the comp at the end. Shows a way to play that reroll comp, which, I mean, you'll see, in a way that I think, most people don't play it in a pretty sick way. It's cool. We'll get there. Already, back to our hero from last time, YFTX, he already has a Heartsteel chosen in the K Sante, and he's got a Yone on his bench, so he is one off of having 5 Heartsteels starting the game. We have wow, that animation in the middle is so cool, actually. That's so sick, actually. I haven't seen that. In any case, we got Gold Augment to start here. Twin Tear in the bottom right, I see. I saw Scrappy Inventions as well, which is nerfed so that, well, not nerfed, just made to not be bugged anymore. But still not as broken as it once was. We had an 80 flex. Oh my god, I mean, I wonder what unit these items could go on. We just have 3 Ezreal items made onto this Corki right now, and I mean, nothing wrong with that. This Corki is going to be an absolute beast here. Is absolutely going to carry the early game. We can see some other augments on the left side here. I know my head covers some of them, but look, I'm covering Clear Mind and Combat Caster, if you guys are so interested. Being a Combat Caster, we are on board with Moyuzai, who had that Combat Caster board. That was a Disco, an opener that I think is fantastic, honestly. I really love Disco opener. So I'm looking to see how well that player will do throughout the game. Also interesting setup here from Qingtian, who's got this Shojin and Nashor slammed already. I mean, these could be Vex items, and we just go that, straight up Twin Tear setup. Maybe it could be Twin Tear. I mean, these items work on, I mean, it could just be Twin Tear or Annie, honestly. We already have I mean, they're fantastic Annie items. The problem is getting to Annie 3. We have 2 extra Annies along with the headliner, so we have like 5 Annies at that point, which is like a decent number. Sort of just see how many more Annies we natural throughout the game. Achen here, maybe doing a YFTX cosplay from the last game we've reviewed, has the exact same slams. It's this Edge of Night and Hodge, and has 6 Yasuos. I feel like I'm getting deja vu watching this. Also, fantastic 3 loss from him. 88 HP 3 loss is amazing. The only downside is loss streaks are a little bit worse after, the nerfs to streak gold. So it's not as good as it once was, but I mean, still, I mean, you'll take a 3 loss 88 HP. I mean, you'd rather be 88 HP 3 loss than, like 80 HP 3 loss, less than that, if you can't kill a single unit. But yeah. One thing I guess that I didn't call out, I mean, it's just a funny thing. I love the little heart rate monitors that Chinese regionals has, so you can see the player's heart rates. I mean, you see this player here had a much lower heart rate than the player that we just looked at. This player about the same, but it's raising a little bit. I would love someday for us to have this level of production for like a North American event, but for now it's just for China. But I mean, it's so sick to watch, right? Oh, his heart rate's going up. It's because he's in the middle of this fight and he's saying, oh no, am I gonna lose my 3 streak? But no, his 3 streak is fine. Maybe we see his heart rate go down a little bit after. I mean, it dropped 1 point there. Yeah, this player YFTX is like had a elevated heart rate the entire time. He's got an elevated heart rate because he's thinking about whether he wants to raise the stakes or not. He doesn't opt to raise the stakes, by the way. And it's just, whoa! Wait a minute! Hey, this guy's a cheater. He just naturaled an Ezreal on 2-6 for 5 Heartsteel. His heart rate's go. It's so funny. His heart rate goes down after that because he's like, well, I high rolled. I'm chilling this game. That's actually so good. The 5 Heartsteel. I mean, he almost would have risked he raised the stakes there, or wished he raised the stakes there. The only downside is he won the fight right after that. So good thing that he didn't raise the stakes, I guess. Yeah, but pretty, I mean, a wild opener all around, honestly, already. That's the kind of nice thing about this fly around approach to, like we're watching the main broadcast, is you do get to see everybody. You get to see all the crazy stuff. You get to see, the 5 heart steal, and you also get to see the Yasuo reroll. Speaking of Yasuo reroll and that Annie reroll player, if they do want to hit their 3 stars, they are going to be rolling this round, and as we can see, that rolling is occurring right now. 2 Yasuos off, right? Now 1 Yasuo off. Does not pick up the Senna 2. Oh, this is not good for Achen. He is 0 gold and he is not hit yet. He rolled it. This is the disaster situation, right? Where you've rolled it to 0 and you have not hit. The game we watched from YFTX before this, it was 10 gold and he hit. But 0 gold and no hit, that is not good. Hopefully he hits very, very soon, next round. If he doesn't, his game is looking horrible. But the hard part is, even if you do hit next round, you are going to be broke for so much of the game. It's a rough spot to be in. Hopefully for Achen, he can, pull his shop rerolls together, hit something soon. But very, very scary. So Moyuzai here, off to a win streak again, and that is a Seraphine 3 at 3-2. Now, if you look at his augments, he has no econ augment. I have to imagine, I don't think we saw too much of him in the early game. I have to imagine that this was just an Omega, like he hit a lot of Seraphines in the early game and said, I'm playing Seraphine reroll from this spot. I don't know how many he started the game with, but Seraphine 3 at 3-2 is insanely early. He rolled pretty deep to find, I mean, this is just a game of the haves and the have-nots, right? Moyuzai here has Seraphine 3 and Achen here cannot even find Yasuo 3. Oh, it's just so sad here. Xintian, who we saw earlier, maybe the Annie reroll with the Twin Terror, has a lot of Annies, still 6 Annies now. Opted not to roll it to 0. Very different from the Achen approach to 1-cost reroll. He's just saying, I'm going to sit here on this Annies. I still feel like he might pivot out because it's going to get kind of late now to actually roll down for Annie 3, but I mean, maybe he'll make the call to just still go for Annie 3. Why not? On 5, it's not impossible. It's certainly much more likely if he naturals 1 or 2 more, so we could see that for sure. First cash out here from YFTX, or I guess it's really the second cash out, is nothing to write home about. It was like 9 gold or 10 gold, or I think it's 9 gold is the standard cash out there, but it's certainly not bad. Also, Achen finally hits the Yasuo 3 and very, very importantly, gets a 3rd item onto him, gets this IE onto him, which will be fantastic, will allow his spell to crit and just kill so many units. So at least we got there. Maybe this is enough to stabilize us into a top 4. The problem is, look at our gold. We are 1 gold here. We had to go to absolute 0 to find this. So it's very scary from an econ perspective. He's just going to have to hope that the lobby caps out pretty lowly and that he can just steal a top 4 or something, or that this Yasuo unit is so broken that he can do better than that. But I mean, I think Yasuo reroll is certainly good, but I don't think it's that broken. Interesting roll down here from Zhanwen, and you kind of just looks like he's going 8th. I must say, he's rolling it super deep on 7. 9 loss streak here. He's finally going to crack that, so at least it's not a full loss. Looked almost like he was angling to play Executioner reroll, but then, I mean, his items don't even really make sense for it. I mean, this spot just looks like a disaster. I don't really see how you play this into anything other than an 8th. Yeah, it looks like he's angling Executioners, but these are not good Executioner items at all. Crown Guard Bramble Vest are pretty awful Executioner items, so, I mean, yeah, this to me just looks like a flat 8th, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, he's rolling down here. He didn't pick up that Samira. I didn't get a chance. It was probably Country Samira, because I have to imagine he would have picked it up if it was Executioner Samira. I mean, yeah, he's 1 off. He just needs to find the headliner to have Executioner Samira 3, but he needs to find specifically Executioner Samira, which is pretty tough here. YFTX here managed to get to the Ezreal 2 on 8. Look at his gold, man. 48 gold, level 8, 51 HP. His spot looks pretty solid if he can get together a good front line. I didn't get a chance to see how strong his front line was. And it is just going to be triple gold augment here. Everybody gold augment. Blinged out, look at the top right for Koro 1 there. Sudowoodo, my god. Got blinged out. He had a 3-star Senna, and it looked like he had insanely good items onto it. It was definitely Nashor's Tooth, and I didn't get a chance to... Oh, it's Nashor's Tooth Guardbreaker. Guardbreaker... not as good as something like a Death Cap onto the Senna, because she does kind of crave that AP. Oh, this is wild. It's Guardbreaker Morello. He's not even using Superfan on this this board. He's just playing more around the vertical true damage. Huh, interesting. And for other 2-cost reroll player, Moyuzai here, still a 100 streak at 4-3. He just had those beautiful items onto Seraphine, which we can talk about. It'll be in the guide, but Shojin plus Morello, I would say, is absolute BIS Seraphine. It means that Seraphine can, cast a lot, and she has the death cap as her. I was gonna say radiant death cap for some reason, but she has the super fan death cap, so you don't really need AP on her at all, and she also gets AP from Spellweavers. So the Shojin is more than enough to just get casts off. Also, her headliner effect is every other cast she gets the double cast, so the Shojin is great for that. And the Morello's, she's an AoE champion, so she's going to be spreading that Morello really, really well. It also helps her damage just kind of stick on units. If you don't have healing cut, it's kind of easy for her to like spread her damage, do a little bit of damage to everyone, and then them all sort of like heal it up. This is actually a funny graphic because it shows that the player, the 7th player there, does not have a headliner on their board right now. Yeah, that was the player who was rolling down for executions, I think, and missed, which is pretty funny. The graphic where it's like, here's all the headliners everyone has. This player doesn't have one. Okay, looks like he finally got to one though. It is the executioner reroll, so he finally made it to this this Samira here. I really don't have faith in the items is the big thing here. At least he has LW for the Samira, which is a fantastic item onto her. And the Hodge is pretty good when you're vertical executioner. I just think those Amumu items were horrible. Crown Guard Bramble Vest, I just think is going to do nothing. But what's going to do the opposite of nothing is this Seraphine. She's just such a beast. I would say between her and Kale, those are the 2 strongest 2-cost reroll comps. Senna, I would say, is like a tier below. But I mean, you can see why 100 streaking through stage 4, even though it's stage 4 where like 2-cost reroll would start to fall off like a little bit, he's still just plowing through the competition here, just like this Yasuo almost did, which is a Yasuo too, by the way. A valiant effort from that Yasuo, honestly. It's pretty funny, 3-item Yasuo here. This is the player who had those Ezreal items slammed just from the beginning of the game. Finally ends up getting to that Ezreal, but it is very, very late. It is 4-7 to be picking up Ezreal. So pretty late there, but it looked like they were like mid healthiness. So not the end of the world. YFTX ends up hitting a headliner Poppy, which is fantastic in this comp. Sadly, our Poppy items are kind of bad. You definitely want more like HP items on Poppy, not resist items. But yeah, Litu-chan, looks like there were multiple people angling for this Executioner comp, which makes sense why some people are having such a bad run of it, because yeah, that was the Twin Terror player who was playing Annie for so long. Looks like they were trying to pivot into Executioners, but Zhang Wenyu pivoted into it a little bit sooner, ended up hitting, and yeah, it's just going to be a quick 8th for them. At least it's not as bad as the player who went 8th stage 4 last game, but still not the best spot to be in. Chen, like I was saying, his spot looked so doomed. He really needed this lobby to cap very low, and with all the people hitting these 3-star units, it's not going to be that low cap of a lobby. Yasuo kind of on the wrong side. Your only chance would be to have him get to backline immediately and just kill off the Samira, but he cannot get there. So it looks like it might actually be a 6 there, because Sudowoodo took a loss there. So yeah, Chen, I think, honestly, in Achen's spot, that's one of those games where you're like, this game was a 6th? We take those. We will take this game being a 6th, because Mortog just did not have it out for us this game. He said, you know what, I hate you, Achen. I want you to bot 4. And sometimes that's how TFT is, especially when you're playing reroll. Sometimes you just have to put your hands up and say, okay, a 6th? That's pretty good. Janman Yu, by the way, who was looking in sort of like an equally doomed position on a win streak here, and Moyuzai, a reversal of fates for both these players. Moyuzai taking some losses here. He's definitely going to be on the more high econ spot, Moyuzai, because he had that really strong board early, so I think he's maybe going to be able to make it to like 9 and start really capping on his board highly. But he is starting to lose to some of these more capped Heartsteel boards. It really feels like in China there is still a huge emphasis on Heartsteel as just one of the best comps in the meta. And yeah, there's the level 9 capping out from Moyuzai. Gets Sona here. This is an interesting adaptation. This is healing Sona, right? He says that I have enough damage. I just really need some more frontline. So I'm just going to go for healing Sona. I see a lot of people go for damage Sona in spots like these. And to be honest, healing Sona looked horrible there. We only had 3 units to heal. Damage Sona would have killed a lot. Probably would have won us this fight. So I can't say immediately that I am a believer in that healing Sona, though to be fair, it did get Zephyred, which means she was getting a cast off late into the fight. So, you know, it's maybe not the end of the world. Qingtian here, such a sad spot. The Lulu reroll, 8 Lulus here, Twin Terror Lulu. If we could get to Lulu 3, we would have quite a strong board, though still, I don't know if it could beat this board, which is Jin 2, Ezreal 2. Yeah, looks like this would be a pretty tough call. A tough one to win either way. Yo, Qingtian dies here, but Zhang Wenyu also took a loss there. Oh my god, so close. The 4th from Zhang Wenyu, I mean, another 4th that I think you'll be pretty happy with, honestly, with how low he had to roll that game. Also, we see Moyuzai here, swapped over the damage Sona after that fight, said, you know, maybe this healing Sona is not it. Maybe we'll just put it on the damage Sona so I can actually kill some units, which I would certainly agree with here. But yeah, at this point, it's going to be a question of who can cap the highest here. Tianlong here rolling down, trying to pick up 2-star 5 costs in this position on 9. Just finds a 2-star Bard, though, here. I always... The 4 big shot spot is always so awkward to me because it forces you to sort of like cut some units that you would like to play. Like, you see we can't play this Bard here, which is so sad. But I mean, it's just the world that you live in. When you have to play 4 big shot, you need to play into it, right? Which means like you have to play all this stuff. He's thinking about cutting Zed, which is a pretty standard cut. Yeah, you can get out of the Zed, but I mean, now if we do this, look at our front line, or I mean, what front line, honestly? Like we just have absolutely nothing as our front line. The upside is that board isn't playing too heavily around the Jhin, but I mean, this there is a high chance that Seraphine ends up holding backline in fights like these, and on the double cast, she can absolutely start one-tapping units. It looks like the board does spread out a lot, and wow, what a huge cast out of that Lucian there, ends up killing the Sona. It still looks like it's not going to be enough, just not enough board to get through the Seraphine, which is just absolutely farming them. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be another win for the Seraphine board, and going to be, looks like an easy top 2 for Seraphine. The question is, can the Seraphine board outcap this board? Ooh, especially once Alawi 2 ends up getting picked up here. Looks like they're... Wait, did they sell Alawi? A second Alawi to pick up that Lucian? I think they did just get the Lucian board strength. But that means... I mean, they're locked board here, but I think they sold an Alawi, right? Because they did have Alawi pair there. And I mean, it ends up being a good call because YFTX takes a loss there. That is an Alawi on Carousel, so this can guarantee the Alawi 2, which Moyuzai is going to be pretty unhappy about because that Alawi 2 is going to add so much tankiness to the front line of YFTX. And that's the way that YFTX can win this fight, is by spreading out, using those tentacles to make it so that Seraphine doesn't get much value out of her ult. That is the way to win those fights. And then just let Ezreal, Lucian, and Jhin go to town on the board. But Tianlong here looks sort of like fated for a 3rd here. Just weaker than YFTX on the AD flex side, weaker than Moyuzai on the sort of like reroll side. So yeah, it looks like just a game doomed to be a 3rd. A game where you just say, look, it was a strong 3rd. Like, the lobby was so strong. Like what am I to do? How am I supposed to go better than 3rd this game? And I think the answer is maybe you weren't. Or maybe you messed up your econ or something. But yeah, we are down to our final 2. Moyuzai here versus YFTX. It's really just all about spreading your carries out so that you don't get one shot by one random Seraphine ult, buying enough time for your Jhin to start ramping up. If you have the Jhin on his own here like he is, it's very, very unlikely Seraphine's going to get onto him, which means he can start free firing through the entire team. And yeah, look at how much damage the Jhin plus the Ezreal end up doing there. I mean, yeah, it is very, very difficult once this 80 board gets so capped out, especially with this Poppy who's so tanky. If they can get to like a Yorick too, that's gonna be a lot more added tankiness. It's so hard actually to get through that board. Okay, this is something huge to call out here. This is a locked shot for Moyuzai here. He saw Ahri chosen and said, I'm going to lock for this because I have an Ahri on bench. That's going to bring me up to 7 Ahris, but he doesn't roll right now. He says, I got at least one more fight in me HP-wise. I'm 41 HP. It's stage 7. The only way I win this game is if I go for R3. It's the exact same call that we saw last game from Poro1, who played a reroll comp and said, the way that I win this game is not through playing around Seraphine. I can't cap high enough. What I'm going to do here is go for RE3, and there he sells it. He just needs to find 2 Ahris on the... Look at that roll speed. Oh my god. That was Ahri so fast. Wow, I mean, we're on 2x speed, but that was insane roll speed. It looked like he was going through the shops 2 at a time or something. But yeah, that's going to be an RE3, and that RE3 is surely going to win him the fight. The Ahri is on the same side as Jhin, so we just have to get through some of these frontliners, and we can start sending those hearts to backlane. Oh my god! The Ahri part actually lost! Oh my god. The front line was actually too much for the Ahri. There's no way we're going to see an Ahri 3 lose, right? She has fantastic items. She's got this blue buff here. At this point, we're just rolling down to try to upgrade some frontline or something, upgrade the Seraphine back. There's no way, right? The Alawi was placed in for a second, but opted to not have it in. We swap Ahri to the right side here. Ahri's still stuck on some tentacles. The other scary thing is that Jhin immediately aggroed onto the Ahri here, so hopefully Ahri on opposite side here can not get aggroed onto by the Jhin here. And yeah, it looks like we are going to win that fight with the Sona cast plus the Ahri. What a fantastic game from Moyuzai. Really, really cool reroll into Ahri 3 angle. I am going to be, like I said, the overlay down below and the guide for that Seraphine comp down in there. And I mean, that's a really, really cool way that you can play it into the Ahri 3. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thanks for watching.